Let me start by saying this in Spanish, okay? Oye, mi gente, yo no hago, lo he dicho 1.000 millones de veces, yo no hago audios y videos para ganar mucho me gusta y tener más gente que me siga. No, eso a mí no me interesa, no me importa. Nunca me importó desde que yo empecé en esto por redes sociales cuando salió MySpace. De nuevo, he repetido lo mismo millones de veces. El que le quiera dar me gusta, el que quiera escuchar o ver, pues magnífico. El que no, pues aténgase a las consecuencias porque cada decisión tiene una consecuencia. Okay, now I'm going to tell you this U.S. Supreme Court of the United States. You have the right, or let me say it this way, we the people have the right to make federal complaints in the U.S. Justice Department, right? Violation of civil rights, etc. Well, I have made more than 10 complaints, including the State Commission election. In Spanish, Comisión Estatal de Elecciones. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened since 2 and something years ago, almost 3 years ago. You know what they did to me? And like I said in the document and in the video, all of you knows what happened. All of you didn't do nothing to prevent, in violation of USC and CFR codes, to prevent what they did to me. Why then you must make a complaint in the U.S. Justice Department? For what? I haven't received nothing since almost 3 years ago. Nothing. Just like the complaint that I made of Banco Popular of Puerto Rico, because I was going to buy with a couple that are friends of mine a house in Vega Alta, Puerto Rico. I was going to buy a house in Mayagüez. And everything was done, everything was approved, and then they invented an excuse that the house had a levy. If you pronounce it like that. Guess what? I called the FBI, and the lady that picked up the phone told me that they don't give the information of the investigation, if any. But why? I was the one affected. I was the one who made the complaint. Why they keep protecting the banksters, not gangsters, banksters? The same reason of the First Bank case that you already know, all of you already know. For what is the complaint? To make us believe that we have that right and that the corporate government of the United States is going to do something about it. I'm mocking it because that is what all of you have been doing to we the people. You are mocking us. Nothing has happened. No letter. Nothing. Another deception. I'm doing this because the State Election Commission, I'm sorry if I said it backwards, has been giving we the people money to this corrupt politics, especially here in Mayagüez. All of them that are running knows or has participated in this corruption during 21 years. And guess what? Nobody gives a plan, a project, legislation, anti-corruption. Everything is jingles, using music, and this and that. I must not forget when they give away the food that comes from USDA. They are using that as a politic propaganda. Guess how much boxes of food now recently that I already exposed it, they are giving money, $200. Why? They are not giving me nothing because I expose the corruption, the racketeer, the fraud. Well, that is my right. But you keep sending money, all of you, because I have to include all of you. And U.S. Supreme Court, I'm going to say this with all your respect, because if the only court that I respect, that I have had always respect, is the U.S. Supreme Court. Because one way or another, I'm going to be an associate judge of the Supreme Court of the United States, not Puerto Rico. Like, Puerto Rico, since 1953, is a trust fund number 62 corruption corporation. That's why I can't trust no one here. You know, I have been saying this, I have been exposing this, and nobody. Okay, in Puerto Rico, nobody gives you know what I'm trying to say, right? But guess what? The so-called patriots of the United States, my fellow Americans, because I was born in Brooklyn, New York, I went to PS 274. No one over there is doing. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Nobody gives up damn thing. Because it's me. Because I am the only one who has the testicles to do it. So I made a complaint of the State Election Commission of Puerto Rico. The Justice Department has done nothing about it. I have been exposing this here in Puerto Rico and all of you, and nothing happens. I have been exposing that the election in Puerto Rico, the elections in Puerto Rico does not exist. And somebody will say, well, you have said before that in the States it's the same thing. That's right. But the corporation was born in the States in 1871. I was born in the corporation. I was raised up in the corporation. I have worked in the corporation. I have lived in the corporation. And if I have to help the corporation of the United States, I will do it. I love New York. I love Brooklyn. But here's the thing. The normal procedure should be, well, it has to be, but since all of you haven't done nothing about it, the normal procedure should be, listen, State Election Commission of Puerto Rico, there is no election in Puerto Rico until you solve these problems. The problems of the endorsement, the problems of the past election. When you can guarantee to the people of Puerto Rico that the election does not discriminate, does not give money to everybody, the club, because all of the persons that are running for elected positions are part of that club. This is why they don't want me in. They don't want me to be part of that club because I'm going to expose them. I'm going to put them in jail. And if possible, I'm going to strip them every cent, every dollar that they have. And if possible, I will charge them in the federal system with the death penalty. Because if Fauci and all this crap in the States have killed thousands and thousands, over here in Puerto Rico occurred the same thing. HR 748? CARES Act is an act, it's not a law. The executive orders does not exist in the Constitution, in the executive powers, over there and here in Puerto Rico. But let me return to the main matter. It is supposed to happen that the elections in Puerto Rico has to be put in pause until what I said before comes to reality. This is why the elections are done in this way, because they keep putting in political positions and in the court system or justice system, I don't give a damn, the people that are participants of this fraud, of this racketeer. And if they are dead, well, my daughter, my son, my grandson, my granddaughter, the dynasty of corruption. Well, all of you know that something is going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. Well, start by putting in pause the elections of Puerto Rico. So people like me that has the right to run in a political position can do it. But it's not happening. And then you want me to shut my mouth? Well, I'll shut my mouth if you give me what is mine, including the First Bank case, which I have been exposing since the beginning, since I received the legal action. And I will shut my mouth. But if all of you dares to try to, I don't want to say the word, I'm going to say something most likely. If you try to funk, I said funk, my family, the persons that I love and protect, my loved ones, then you will have war. You know that I'm not joking. My foster parent, I'm repeating every single thing that I have been sent to the Rothschild Foundation, the letter of Larry Fink, Black Rock, that was never delivered, and it was a certified letter. And the letter that I sent to you, U.S. Supreme Court, I am repeating the same thing, but I have to do it. I love peace. I'm a good guy. You all of you know it. But I am war. You see, that's why I'm going to be a Supreme Court judge, because I uphold the Constitution. I uphold the due process of law. I cannot say the same thing here in Puerto Rico. I cannot say the same thing in the States. The false pandemic. And nobody, even knowing it, nobody talked about Marbury versus Madison, 1803. But I began telling the people, listen, anything that goes against the Constitution is null, is void. It does not exist. Because the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, not maritime law, not Admiralty law. This is why I won, and I'm going to keep winning any case, because there is no jurisdiction. I don't live in the sea. I live in the land. You give me what is mine, and everything is okay. But the State Election Commission of Puerto Rico has to be stopped. The money that they are giving away, and it's not now, since 1953, is the money of the people. It's our money. So I am entitled to receive that money. But they don't want me to do that. They want me to comply with the unconstitutional regulation. Regulations are not law. What is one of the regulations? Oh, you have to Bring me 8,000 endorsements. They know, all of you know, I don't have any resource to look around for the sheep people, you know, the ones that keep believing in this crap. Can you imagine that? Oh, listen, sir, madam, I am running for governor of the trust fund of Puerto Rico. These are my ideas. These are my plans. It's going to be we the people government, etc., etc., etc. Do you think that they are going to believe me? Really? I'm not a stupid man. I have lots of knowledge. Now, by the way, in the video that I am exposing the letter that I sent by email, that's why I can disqualify courts, judges, prosecutors, and lawyers. I have done it as per due process of law by email. You think that they are going to believe me? Who controls the mass media? Rothschild. Rothschild invented the press because they use a press to print the first newspaper. So it's filtering information. I'm not the only one that has said this. The question is why it keeps happening. Let me go a little bit back. In January 2019 was submitted to Congress the H.R. 748. The false pandemic began in March 17, 2020. You are telling me that a year in advance they knew there was going to be a false pandemic? You see what I'm trying to say? Who signed the H.R. 748? Donald J. Trump. I'm not against him or anybody. I am just telling the truth. So I am the one that is going against this make-believe. You know, my foster parent, Inocencio Graniela Ramirez, was a Freemason grade 33 of the Gran Oriente Nacional. Again, I'm repeating the same thing. They didn't, all of you, I should say, all of you didn't respect that. You did what you did against me, even though I am a son of a Freemason. Guess what? No secret society wants me. Not even the secret societies. Knight Templars, Rosicrucians, Thule Society, and I can Prior of Zion. I could keep mentioning because I have tried to belong. They don't answer me. I wrote to a independent, allegedly independent, international reporters. And I asked them, listen, I need this. Tell me how to do it. And if you charge for it, for this service, you just let me know, and I decide if I can pay or not. You know what? They never answered. So there is no independent reporters or media. They are part of it. If they were against this whole crap all over the world, because all governments are corporate commercial governments, they won't exist. You know, information filtering, they should be dead. You know, all this crap that, this John Doe was a mafia member and talks in shows and in social media, etc. That this is how it worked, you know, la cosa nostra, whatever. You really believe that? What happened to John Gotti? He broke the code, and he went in jail. I don't know why, because others that have broke the code are dead, disappeared. You know, Jimmy Hoffa? And you're telling me that this idiot is exposing la cosa nostra in social media and talk shows and radio stations? He is part of the crap. You see, that's why they don't want me in secret societies. But I respect, listen very carefully, I respect the Gran Oriente Nacional. I love that. Because I was raised up by a 33-degree Freemason. He told me very little things. He did not expose the secrets. Let me tell you this, and this is the first time I'm going to say it. I have a couple of books, I'm going to put it that way, pamphlets, that he had. He passed away a long time. You know what? I haven't read those pamphlets. You know why I didn't read it at this day? Because I respect el Gran Oriente Nacional. And the people who really knows who I am, they know that I'm telling the truth. To summarize, stop the fraudulent elections in Puerto Rico, because I made the federal complaint in the Justice Department. That is what is supposed to happen. How can you investigate, gather information, prove, when the State Election Commission of Puerto Rico keeps doing the same crap since 1953. This is why I am including the IRS, because they are responsible too. They are the owners of the trust fund. 6-2, Puerto Rico. In papers, just like I have been exposing about all this crap and the First Bank legal action against me. They owe me. Oh, you give me what is mine. You put in pause the false election in Puerto Rico until we the people have the guarantee that everything is clean. And that we the people have the same right as the corrupt Illuminati politicians of Puerto Rico. By the way, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not going to tell details of it. But I'm going to ask you this so you can understand. I'm going to ask you why Puerto Rico has 78 mayors. How much mayors has Florida? How much mayors has New York? How much mayors has Chicago? Why Puerto Rico has 78 mayors? Because that is the agreement with the trust fund, so they can suck we the people money and our fellow Americans in the States. I have made questions. I have challenged lots of this corrupt system. And nobody doesn't even answer. You know why? Because they know that I know. Why Puerto Rico has a resident commissioner in the Congress when this is unconstitutional? Congress cannot create political positions. No, by the rule number X, rules are not law. And why, if Congress keeps saying that they can do that, then why the resident commissioner of Puerto Rico right now, Jennifer Gonzalez, is receiving her salary and benefits from we the people in Puerto Rico pockets and not the federal Congress? Why? Why, if she is a resident commissioner, is all the time in Puerto Rico, making politics, making believe people that she had nothing to do with the corruption of Puerto Rico, especially in the New Progress political party, Partido Nuevo Progresista. Why? Let me ask you this. Why, if you control 14 territories, why Puerto Rico, the trust fund, has a resident commissioner and the rest of the territories does not have it? Some territories, some have delegates. But none of them has a resident commissioner. Why? You stop the corrupt state election commissioner, the corrupt elections per se, so we the people, and me, I'm including myself, can have the opportunity to run, you know, in a clean manner. If I lose, well, I lose. But it has to be very clear that I lost. Not AI proof, not papers, documents made in a computer and printed out. No. It's the supervision of we the people of the whole election process. So I can say to you, listen, all of you, I lost the election. By this way. If not, well, I should be the next governor of the trust fund number 62. Again, what I'm asking helps the corporate commercial government of the United States, especially the corporate commercial government of the United States. And what I'm asking is mine. You see? The fictitious name, Strawman John Doe, Axel with double L, Concepcion, all of it in capital letters, has a attorney, has a lawyer. That is me. This is why all of it, you know, millions, billions, trillions are mine, because the fictitious name, Strawman John Doe, Axel Concepcion in capital letters, owes me that money because of my fees. I am waiting until tomorrow, and I want a straight answer. I don't want telephone calls. I want anything that all of you would say in black and white with signatures and all the information of all of you. Thank you. Have a nice day.